This is George Webb's Day 500 Part 3 summary for February 2017. In our series, we had talked about pay to play with General Petraeus, Sid Blumenthal, Hillary Clinton, a general named David Grange, who had arranged for invasions in both Libya and Syria and potentially also Turkey and Sudan, as well as Yemen. We talked about this company named DynCorp, which was a private version of the CIA, really, that was involved in all sorts of spoils of war activities, from policing to sexual trafficking to even, in some cases like Kosovo, organ recovery, and some even call that organ harvesting. All along the way, we saw dark weapons, Stinger missiles, chemical weapons used to take ground to get resources. But the piece that was missing was, where was the intelligence network to cover it all? How were they farming this all out? How are they covering this for plausible deniability? We correctly identified Palantir as the way of doing that through a system for worldwide management of logistics. But we almost predicted, we almost inductively surmised that you would need a spy ring in Congress to manage not only foreign affairs, but the Department of Homeland Security for drugs coming into the U.S., as well as the other critical committees in the Congress. We did not have to wait long into February for that prediction to come true about the infiltration into key House intelligence committees. The key committees that were infiltrated were the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, the House Committee on Department of Homeland Security, and the House Foreign Affairs Committee. With these three committees in control, you could provide an early warning system to a system managed by Palantir for rat lines all over the world, including drugs, illegal weapons, and the all-precious uranium traffic, both highly enriched, lowly enriched, as well as depleted uranium for weapons. Right from the start, it was apparent that the Awans had institutional support. You could see that their prosecutions for the 20 congressional burglaries had been put off. The other felonies they had committed to cover their crimes had been ignored. The local attorney general, Channing Phillips, had refused to bring a case against them till after they were warned over a period of 9 months. And still to this day, they're being protected from all but the most trivial charges for their activities in terms of spying in Congress over a 16-year period. Andrew McCabe, who was the assistant director of the FBI, was the obvious person that had created the sheltering of the Awans. The same sheltering he had done for the investigation into the Hillary server, illegal server, the Huma illegal server, and now, unbeknownst to most of the American public, was engineering a coup attempt against the current president of the United States. All along the way, McCabe had been the key person who perhaps even recruited the Awans when they first started spying in Congress. And now, McCabe would continue to shelter them, helping them get information out of the United States to Pakistan in March, helping them elude arrest until July so that they could liquidate their assets, and is still protecting them in the courts through the help of an attorney general named Channing Phillips. Later in the month of February, we were to find out that the Awans received top secret clearance, allowing them to send secrets from Washington, D.C. to New York and the Hillary for America servers there. By February 26th, it had become obvious that the Awans were nothing more than political spies since 2004, and that they had worked in a shared employee scheme for over 80 Democrats, but in actual fact, they had reported directly to Debbie Wasserman Schultz, having her password and access to key systems for that entire period, including Debbie Wasserman Schultz's time as chairman of the DNC. The incessant drumbeat of the DNC saying the Russians had hacked them with Russia, Russia, Russia was giving way to the truth that the DNC themselves had installed a spy ring in Congress beginning in at least 2004 and had run through the election and had used these political operatives to steal from other candidates other than their anointed candidate, Hillary Clinton. By the end of February 2017, we knew who had actually hacked the election, the Awans. I now had my working theory that the Awans had hacked the DNC, and I spent the next year gathering evidence that I would later use in bringing suit against the Awans and the DNC for hacking the election instead of the narrative provided by the Democrats saying it was the Russians. We still, of course, don't know how this drama will end, as the Awans are in criminal court on March 8th next week, and I still have yet to adjudicate my two cases against the DNC and the Awans, as well as my case against the FBI in Uranium One.